Ah. Ah. All right. Ah. Ah. Hey, hey. There we go. That's a little bit better. Hey, wait. Hey, Charles. Hey, Sui. Hey, Sui. How y'all doing? How's this going? How's everybody doing?
Objection!
Objection. Oh. Objection. I wasn't getting head patted. Now I am. Ah! That was nothing. Yeah, no, new sounds. I want to get some more going hopefully soon. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Oh, this is very good. This is very nice. Wow. Excellent. Aww. 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 Excellent. Excellent. Just 1 sec. I have to duck down here. I dropped a thing on the floor. Yeah. There we go. Okay. I'm like, I only have a couple good memory sticks, and I dropped one of them right on the floor. Didn't even have a safety cap on. Yeah. Yeah. One day I'll pay code for real. Aw. 100%. Hello. How y'all doing? What's everybody up to? What was that? Nothing. I dropped a memory stick on the floor. It's actually the one that I had my BIOS update on. Oh my god, it's Toby Fox. What's Toby Fox doing here? Baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good tonight. I'm not gonna lie, the stream is late, and it's late for a very, very specific reason, a very good reason, which is that my mom's been playing Elden Ring, and she just she didn't finish Castle More, but she has been exploring Castle More in Elden Ring, and she's kind of gotten to the point where she went from she worked her way through it, and she's just really, really proud of going all the way through it. And I'm like, she had to tell me every detail of the strategy and the routing and everything she figured out to get from the beginning to the end, and it was really, really good. And I'm like, oh, because I can tell just in the excitement in her voice that she's falling in love with the game, and she's just really passionate about it. And the thing is it's great to hear, because it's I wasn't hey Tilly, how you doing? Also, hey Hive, how's things going? Aww. She's super, super into it, and she's always played Zelda games, but this is her first time playing a Soulsborne game, and there was always that element of she's like, well, I'm not really that interested in combat, and I'm like, the thing with these games is that there's a lot of combat, but oftentimes the puzzle of the game is just figuring out the route and how you get from point A to point B kind of thing. And so there was a little bit of just I hope she likes the game. And anyways, she's really I think fallen for the game. She actually the last few days have been picking a Castle Redmane, which is way beyond where she should probably be right now. But then she kind of fell back and decided to go explore Castle More some more. And she's I think she's just really vibing with it. Redmane was really hard, and but she was just short of getting to the final grace in Castle Redmane. So, but she was really minding the difficulty of it. I'm like, there's lots of places you can explore. There's definitely other castles if you want to go, check out some other castles. Just because I think she was kind of tapping out on it a little bit, maybe just a little bit. She was actually. It's watching her tackle Castle Redmane over and over for a few days has been, oh, hey, random dude. Yeah, it's Mother's Day today. Well, seeing a thread on your mom playing Elden Ring and that's the thing, the last week or two, because this is probably week 3, I think, of her playing it. Oh, guys, I'm gonna get into that in a minute. But I had to talk about my mom playing Elden Ring. The first week or two, the first week was definitely she was doing things and just so cautious with the game that it was hard to say if she was really enjoying it. Like, she seemed to be enjoying it, but there was also like things like shooting the first merchant, which was a little upsetting. That was kind of just like, oh dear, she decided to shoot the first merchant. That's unfortunate because it makes the game much harder if you shoot the first merchant. but she started to like learn the language of the game and understand like the concepts of the game and understand like what you do and how to do things. Like this week, her combat, like her ability to just like go in with a sword and shield is like vastly improved. She's just like doing so much better like on every front. And like tonight she was just like, I got up and she had to tell me right away about Castle Moor, and she found the extended part of Castle Moor before I did. I like did it for the first chunk of Castle Moor and then left, and then 20 hours later I came back. I was like, oh shit, there's more to this. There's some of the tactics that like 3D Zeldas have incorporated that work well into Elden Ring. Yeah, and that was the thing. That was why I kind of like, she's played through Breath of the Wild about 8 times now, and sorting and porting. Yeah, like she's doing good. She's like the first week or two she was so focused on the bow in Elden Ring because in Zelda and Breath of the Wild, like the bow is really good in that game, right? So it makes sense. But she started to like really dig into, like this week she's starting to really dig into like understanding like how to sword fight and use your shield and do that sort of stuff. Like she's like, just even her footwork is vastly improved. Oh hell yeah, sandwich hat. I had an excellent sandwich earlier today. Chicken teriyaki from Subway. It was excellent. It was, I'm like kind of, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of really falling in love with the chicken teriyaki. Like, where's my sandwich hat? Also, hey Floppable, how you doing? Sandwich hat. Yeah, so 20 hours later, hey God, now you're in the area, you missed the spot. Yeah, I know, right? My mom had the like foresight to look down right away, which was like, oh, I'm like, damn, I wish I had thought to do that. Yeah. Oh, I know, right? Oh, it's so good. I'm just so pleased about my mom, like working through like sort of just working her way through Castle Moor and realizing she doesn't have to fight every enemy in the big open room, and then like working her way around and finding the pumpkin head guy that, you know, she could get the back attack on and doing that stuff. And like and then like just the way she's like figuring out like how to approach each situation, and that she's getting joy out of it, right? Because she's like even though this game isn't puzzly, she is enjoying building these strategies and figuring out the process of it. And that's where the kind of, I think, enjoyment comes from, and where the kind of puzzles are in Elden Ring. Odd thought, but if she's really good with like reflecting lasers in Breath of the Wild, she's not actually particularly good at reflecting lasers in Breath of the Wild, but she she has done a couple parries in Elden Ring already. She like her big thing honestly is just like, if she can come up with a strategy that works before getting into a situation where she has to get really like into the like meat of it. Like for example, like, and I didn't even know this the whole time I played Breath of the Wild. She taught this to me when she was like, I think on her first playthrough. She discovered that like Lionels, for example, you can shoot those with the ancient arrows, and it actually just like wipes them out in one hit. I didn't know that. I thought it was only on the ancient guardians. So it was like, oh, well, I didn't know that. But like her figuring out these things, that's like her like, that's where she gets the enjoyment out of it. She might not, yeah, I know, right? So like, yeah, the ancient arrows are extremely good. They are. I was like, hey Wang, how you doing? Yeah. So yeah, like she's just like, she's found her like enjoyment in Elden Ring. And there's like aspects that still definitely confuse her. She's still trying to figure out like how you upgrade weapons. Like she understands if she picks up the stones, she can upgrade them. She's actually making the same mistake I made too, which was that it's like, she's like, oh, okay, so my sword is level 3. How do I make it? Or like it needs a level 3 smithing stone. So she's like, can I put a 1 and a 2 together and get a level 3? I'm like, I wish. I wish you could do that. And you know, it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, I know, right? So she's like, she's making the same, she's going like, she understands enough of the language of the game, but she's also like making the same like steps I made. And just like me, she went to Castle Redmane early, and everything's weird at Castle Redmane. None of the doors open and everybody's like just not there. Get a 24 weapon by spamming one. Yeah, I know, right? And she's also like, this is a funny one too, because I never think about, like, it's just interesting seeing like a game like this through fresh eyes, because like in Zelda, like enemies will drop like hearts or something, or arrows or something like that sometimes, but like the concept for her of like an enemy dropping like a piece of armor or a weapon is like completely new to her. Like she's like that is like, she's like, that's an interesting, like, I can see where she's starting to pick up on, like, she's like, oh, if I fight this thing, it could drop a thing for me. And it's like, yeah, which is funny since I know, right? And like, that's the thing, she doesn't play a lot of RPGs. And it was funny because we were talking about it the other night while I was working on the computer too. Like, she's like, even this week, she's starting to understand better. It's like, oh, if I level up my character, I get stronger. So, you know, things become easier. Like, and she's played a couple RPGs. She did play Paper Mario, and like she immediately drew a line right back to Paper Mario. She's like, it's like Paper Mario where you level up and you do the thing. And I'm like, yes. So she's like, she's getting the concepts down. She's just like, this week she's just really digging into it. I'm just like beaming right now, because I mean, I like had to stream, but she was like, she had 30 minutes of like, she just was over the moon about this, getting through Castle Moore. I'm doing exactly like Paper Mario. Well known spin-off from the Paper Mario series, Elden Ring. I mean, they both have combat action systems. They do. Yeah. And despite folks' obsession with maxing, making perfect builds, Elden Ring doesn't require that. No, it doesn't. And that's the thing. It's like, and she's like I gave her a rough idea of like what things that if you put like a stat point into these stats, what it will do for you. So she's still like, if I'm right there, she's like, what should I put a point into? I'm like, well, let's look at it here, and we'll like, we sit down and we go through it. But you know, she has a rough idea, but I do think like after she beats Renalia, I think what we're gonna see about doing is maybe respecking into magic, because I think she might really enjoy magic. She's like, she's enjoying the sword fighting and shield and stuff, but like, and she's really enjoying the bow, even though it is worse than Breath of the Wild for bowing, but she is enjoying it. But I'm like, I can tell that she would really like to be able to throw projectiles. Yeah, magic's fun. And actually, I just kind of re-explained like the weapon arts to her, Ashes of War or whatever they're called. And I showed her one that I forget what it's called. It's like Fire Strike or Fire Slash or something, where it just shoots a spray of fire in front of you. And she was immediately like in love with it. And so I think that magic might actually be kind of her, like, that might be her jam in these games. Never am properly in endgame Monster Hunter World. I'm starting to see how the game can be a lot more fun if you splash some defense and utility skills instead of just going, oh, definitely. And I mean, like, I've talked about this different times with Monster Hunter, because I'll get, every once in a blue moon, I would get somebody in the stream that would be like, why aren't you using this? You could get more damage if you do it this way. I'm like, you have to understand, like, the quality of life that I get from hell, even just a couple points in defense is like immeasurably more than like the small sliver of additional damage I'd get out of, oh, Divine Blessing. I never fucking go on a hunt with a Divine Blessing, because it's just like, it's so fucking good. Like, even at level 3 Divine Blessing, like, it's just like, it lets me take dumb risks, and I appreciate that, because I love taking dumb risks. It's like, damn, this dumb risk didn't cost me a damn thing. I'm ready to do it again. And then of course I die. But you know, I mean, it's all I'm working on it. Yeah, admittedly in games I love seeing big numbers. There's nothing wrong with big numbers, but there is like, nothing's cooler than like a slightly smaller number, but it was something that was really fucking like amazing. I wish I had the video clip right now of fighting Kalvite Taroth, swinging off a thing and doing a level 3 charge slash with the greatsword off of like swinging off the ceiling stalactite thing and just like hitting him right on the face as he shot a fireball at me, and we traded blows and it knocked him down and almost killed me instantly. Thank you, Divine Blessing. Actually, I think God saved me in that one. Hey Samurai, how you doing? Also, White, what's your story? Monster is a different kind of fun when you don't have to min-max. It is. Like, there's just like good qualities about it. Catch up here. White, what was your story? What do you guys tell? What you got? But no, Mom's really enjoying Elden Ring. She's really getting into the meat of it now, and she was just like, she's like, I understand that, like, if I go, like, this was a big one too, is her realizing that it's like, oh, I found a cool item behind this hard enemy, but now that I got the item, now that I beat the enemy and got the item, I don't have to go back through it. I'm like, yeah, I know, right? And like, she's understanding like the efficiency of like rooting, and it's just like, ah, I love it. I love it. I love to see it. Mecha, how you doing? Thank you for the raid. What you up to? Aw, yeah, give Mecha a shout out. Mecha, what were you playing? How are things going? Aw, playing Among Us. Oh, very good, very good. Among Us is excellent. I kind of want to go back to it, admittedly. Like, I know a lot of y'all haven't been here during my Among Us streams, but it is actually something that I actually kind of really like. I like it a lot. Okay, so I was watching my sister and husband play Stardew Valley for the first time. Oh, interesting. And it was the most vanilla way to play it ever. They woke up, watered plants, they spent their money planting more plants, and then spent the rest of the day fishing in their own pond. No exploring, no checking out other areas. What? I mean, it was painful. Oh, that's no good. Yeah, my strategy in the game is just I stay up things. Yeah. Can't wait to join Among Us and get rejected for playing on mobile. Oh my god, I'm sorry, Hive. I'm sorry. Like, the thing was there's so many like things that you're looking for in Among Us. Zafra, how you doing? Also, Mecha, what were you playing? What were you playing? It's fun with voice chat, random. Yeah, and that was actually a little bit why I kind of eased off of Among Us, was like the playing with random people was like less enjoyable. But no, the thing with Among Us is that like you get to the point where you read into everything, right? So something like as little as weird movement in the bucket. I saw rent vent in the bucket. No apologies was hilarious because your movement was so like staticky and it just like it made you look suspicious. I felt bad about it afterwards because it's like, oh geez, we didn't realize you were on mobile, and it was like, oh. Wang's got amazing timing on the redeems. But what was I saying? Anyway, so the stream wasn't very interesting on why. That's the thing. I don't know how. I know Stardew Valley's probably really fun. There's like some really fun ways to stream it, but it's like I don't. It's not my type of game, so I just don't know how to. I wouldn't know how to dig into it, how to approach something like that. I feel like you'd have to have like some good back and forth with someone, or I don't know. Everyone I play Among Us, I'd only play on mobile. Playing with Randa is dangerous on stream. Oh yeah, it's very unpredictable. It's like one of the last streams I did for Among Us, we had somebody pop into the stream. Yarny, how you doing? You up to? Yes. Just one sec. It's just like, how'd Tunic go, Yarny? How's Tunic going? I'm great. How's it going? Good. We're chatting. I was chatting about my mom playing Elden Ring because she's kind of falling in love with the game right now, and it's just like really nice to see. The stream is late tonight because she had to she was just like, I gotta tell you about all the stuff I did, and she was like, you know, really like getting into it, and it's just like so good. Chat requested they start Spooky Farm where monsters show up at night and they go to bed before the sun goes down. What? There's monsters in I'm like, there's monsters in Elden Ring? What? Newsflash to me. Taylor, welcome. The Spookums firearm seems fun, but might get annoying sometimes. Oh, gotcha. I don't know too much about that. Yeah, I know. Tunic is super good. There is combat in Stardew. Interesting. I had no idea. But no, one of the very last Among Us streams, it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth because like we basically had a few random people from the chat, and of course they're not even regulars. Like it's one thing if it's like any of y'all, because I kind of know y'all, but it was just like somebody popping in. It's like, are you streaming are you streaming Stardew? Are you streaming Among Us? I'm like, yep. And they're like, can I join? And it's like, yeah, because it's one of those things that like it's hard because like if you're sitting there with like an open slot, like it's really hard for people. It's hard to justify not having somebody in. So anyways, invited them, and they decided to spend the next like hour and a half just studying exclusively what I was doing. I had a stalker for like an hour and a half in Among Us. I know, right, Wang, I know. And I'm just like, like you get tense the whole time. You're just like, oh god, please, not like this. Play with any game with you, stream or not. Oh. Oh, well, I appreciate it. The rando who swore at a regular, and the rando who profiled. Yeah, we had someone who like immediately was like got angry after like one round and swore at like one of not just a regular, but one of my close IRL friends. I was like, nope, you done, and I immediately just like threw them on the chopping block. And then we had the other one, which was the person that stalked me for like an hour and a half, and like it was amazing. It was amazing because they actually did. They 100% had me like down tick for tick. Every tell they knew. And what was funny was they finally had like the one round, like it was like I said, an hour and a half in, where they were just like, we started the round, like I went to go do my first thing, which was a tell, which I've learned that I had, which is I tend to go to a very specific spot to do a thing when I'm when I was an imposter, and they picked up on it and they immediately just hit the buzzer. Like it was like 8 seconds into the round and they're like, imposter's code. And I'm like, what? And then they went down. They spent the rest of their buzzer time basically breaking it down because they were like, this is what code does, and she does these things. And I know right away, I know that she's an imposter. And everybody sat there like listening. They had their hands like arched listening. And then we shot them out the vent. Because I mean, no one else knew these tells, right? So it was just this person, like, they weren't wrong. They were 100% right. But it was like... they were 100% right, but like just going in that hard like makes you suspicious just in yourself, right? Hey Vicari, Among Us memories. I know, right? The fact that they were right makes it funnier. I know, right? We launched them at the thing and then I won the round and it was great. It's just for people to play with, not much else they can do out here. I gotcha. On one hand, a metagame is part of playing in a group, but on the other hand, that's just tedious. I think the metagame is like where the grit and like enjoyment is for me personally, because like I enjoy like figuring out like people and what their tells are and things like that. Not that I'm gonna turn right around and like hit the buzzer after like 8 seconds and be like it was them. It's learning your own tells, right, Tilly? Yeah. And like one of like it's funny because like different people play differently, right? Like I had a pretty good read on a lot of people, but like for example, like if I played around with White would fucking kill me every time. I would just in the exact moment I would trust her, she would fucking stab me in the back, and I'm like, how does she do it every time? I'm like, this is the person I'm maybe most familiar with in the whole world, and I can't read her in Among Us. I can't read her at all in Among Us. I know, I'm too trusting. Like, I still remember. I still remember. It's like on stream too. There's probably an old like cut of it you can find, which is just me. Like I'm walking through the like hangar and White's there, and I'm like, I'm gonna join up with White because I think I can trust White. Like I'm just like, I think I can trust White. And like 2 seconds after I say that, she stabs me and runs off. I'm like, okay, I'm learning a lot about my girlfriend right now. A lot of things. I'm like laying bleeding on the floor. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, damn, I know she did. She just left me to die. I love figuring out folks' tells, but I tend to not to immediately go, it's them. Oh, and that's the thing. Like, it's important because the thing is, it's like if you don't immediately like, even if you're like 80% sure, like maybe 60% sure, we'll say we're 60 or 70% sure. Even if you're 60 or 70% sure, you know who it is. Give it a little time, because if you can pick up more tells, then you become even more sure. And you learn more about a person, because especially like if you have your eye on them and you're like, I'm 70% sure they're the imposter, and then you like really watch them, you're gonna learn even better. That's why I get yeeted out, because I do task or fake task in order. I gotcha. Yeah, my initial tell, which was really bad, was if I was imposter, I would go basically to one of the panels that on the right side of the ship almost every time. Yeah, I'm very bad at lying. See, I don't consider myself good at lying, but I consider myself maybe like what would the word be? I'm dramatic enough to fight for my life. Yeah. Also, Kumi, how you doing? What are you up to? My go-to tricks to do sabotage, then help repair. Yes. Yeah, like it's important to like do a mix, because it's important to like create a level. You got to create a level of trust with people. And that's the thing. It's like sticking with people, and making sure that like they're like aware that it's like you're around, right? Wait, there's a lie. Maybe I'm good at lying, or was that the lie? Yeah, that's exactly good. Just hanging out. Test my new glasses. Hey, very good. They look great. I'll have to ask you about them more, because I know I was like just getting like going live, so I was like, I'll have to ask you about them, because I'm curious. I'm curious about the thing. But zooming in. So, yeah, no, Among Us is something I will probably get back into at some point, just because I really like it. This is why you kill her. You think you know her. I know, right? I think I know White, and she's got the knife ready at all times, apparently. Yeah, Among Us does feel like a lifetime ago, because that was still like 2019. Yes, I'd be down for Among Us. Okay. Yeah, see like me and Kumi, when we played Among Us, like I feel like I have a good beat on Kumi, but also like I feel like when we're both imposter, it's pure chaos, which is amazing. Kumi's a panic killer. She'll fucking kill. She's like, oh god, I have a body. What do I do with the body? And I'm just like, run. Oh god, I still remember like we're both like the three of us in like the fucking engineering, and she like just kills the other person. We're both imposters, and we're standing there next to a dead body. I'm like I'm like, oh shit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do it. Oh god. I'm just like, oh my god. I'm like, run. and then like I came up with like I was just like, oh god, I still remember that, because it was such a scramble like explaining it, and it's like I forget if it was the third person that found us to like report it, and I forget if we like blamed them and it was like the two of us against them. I forget how it worked out, but I gaslighting to the end. Yeah, no, stat kills are amazing. Like if you get good stat kills, like it really ups your game in Among Us. And you were good at stat kills, I remember that. Like like once we started to get a beat on the game, like you were doing stack kills, I was doing stack kills. Yeah. My favorite one was like doing like a stack kill. Like everybody was like right outside the like big meeting room, or right below the meeting room, and just everybody's running around in a big stack. And I just like walk up and just stab somebody, and I'm like immediately gets reported, and I'm just like, why are we all standing together? And then someone else gets shot out the vent, or shot out into space, and I'm just like, yeah, love it. I'm like, it's as good as a double kill. Playing Among Us and act purposely suspicious. Oh, definitely. Like, there's nothing better than purposely being like, you gotta be intentionally suspicious, because if you're not suspicious in every game you play, that becomes a tell in itself. Oh my god. But no, Among Us was fun. I wish Project Winter wasn't a bit overcomplicated, because it's arguably even better catalyst for those kind of moments. Oh, I've heard about Project Winter, but I have to like look at it more, because I don't know. Oh my gosh. I have to look more into it, I guess. At this point, like, I don't think I'll have any computer issues, which I guess is a good like lead into talking about the big thing, the big news. Here, let me get a picture of my baby. So as a lot of you know, I haven't been streaming the last few days, and that's because I had all my computer parts, so we started putting the computer together. Where did it save it? What? Save image. Where'd it go? How is it not there? Where are you? Just 1 sec. Oh, why did it save it way over there? That's super. No, that's not it. I didn't put that on stream. I don't even know what that is. What is that? I was just a picture of my computer, like half open. Here, we'll just use this one for now. There we go. So yeah, I've been putting together a new computer, and it's going really good. Oh yeah, everyone's saying you need to name your new computer. I was hoping my new computer would be so good it would just name itself, but it turns out that's like, that requires like an AI or something, and I don't know. I don't think I've installed that component yet. It's very pretty. Just 1 sec. I'm gonna just like duck down here, because I'm just like, where'd that image go that I just saved it, and it, don't tell me it's like on down. Oh no. Okay. Why? Where'd it go? Okay, fine. I'll just put it in this folder. Okay, it's not. Oh, there it is. I'm like, where is it? There we go. Okay. Queer, welcome. Queer Oddity, welcome. How you doing? Yeah, we're building a new PC. Here we go. So here's my new PC, and this is it all lit up. There's Aperture Science personal enrichment device. Yes. Hey, Avocat. Also, hey, Leon. Sandwich, there's a cat girl under you. Yeah, I've been building a new computer. It as many of y'all know, the rig that I'm currently on, which I've been using for actually almost 10 years now. So my computer's been over. My computer's been showing its age for a while, so it was overdue. Anna, how you doing? Speaking of which, start of the show. Got a question. Did you turn the RGB back on to get that picture? No. Oh yeah, for the lights. Yeah, I was playing with it. I was like, oh, interesting. It's kind of cool. Actually, I kind of like that you can do the RGB, but have them like temperature sensitive, so I could actually like have it so the lights actually indicate to me how hot it's running. Because I'm like, okay, that has a purpose. Yeah, so like I can make it so like they dim or like right now they go basically from like red to white based on heat. So it's like, oh, I like it. Yeah, although I took that picture, I think I had them going from blue to white. Yeah, put them on a schedule too. Oh, I could do that. That'd actually be nice. Also, I wish it, actually, I think I can probably find a picture of it here. Just 1 sec. GT. what fancy graphics card do I have in it? Let me find a picture of my fancy graphics card. Let me show it to you. Oh, I found the exact one. So here's the thing. When we were building the PC, my graphics card hasn't actually arrived yet. So at the moment, we put the graphics card from my old graphics card from the current computer into it. So my current graphics card in the new computer is this beauty right here. Look at her. Yeah, look at this monster of a graphics card. It looks like a stopwatch. It looks like a wristwatch. So this is the graphics card that's actually in my, so it's 2010. Yeah, that's what's currently in the new computer. Yeah, which is actually funny because I was actually testing my model out on it and it actually runs completely fine. I couldn't run anything else with it, but like it actually runs completely fine even on this little graphics card. Just got an RT, yes. So the actual graphics card that we got ordered is 3070 Ti. Pardon me, sorry. Is 3070 Ti. So the new one will be arriving probably early this week. I ended up getting a deal on it for 22% off. So I figured, yeah, I wasn't probably going to get a better deal on it than that over the next few months. So I jumped on it, and actually the deal, like, they reduced the discount like a day ago, right after I bought it. So I found one hell of a deal, and I was like, yeah, I know. Anna had her eyes out for it. Also, I just gotta say again, thank you, Anna, for everything. Anna actually went through the process with me of setting up and putting the whole computer together. I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself, and Anna just like walked me through the process. It was like perfect. Like, she is an expert of experts. She knew every little thing about it, and she was explaining it to me in a way that it was just like that, and I could understand it, and it was great. It was like 10ish hours of me walking her through the build and remoting it in, fixing software. Yeah. Like, honestly, the longest parts of the whole build was actually just me screwing things in. Like, I'm definitely realizing. So yeah, I know. Thank you again, Anna. Hell, where is it? Confetti. Ah. So yeah, Anna through and through like made this happen. So thank you. Like, otherwise I would have had to probably go with a pre-built. So yeah, building a PC is relaxing. Yeah, I could see it. Like, even for myself, even though I was like I was pretty cautious during some points, it was still really fun. Like, it was enjoyable. I could definitely see, like, if I got it, like, some of the things down and understood maybe some things, because I don't know how much it varies from PC to PC, but it's like, oh, I get this. I was remoting and I bought, yes, thank you again for Windows too. And also, of course, thank you everybody for like who chipped in on the PC. Like, that's made a big difference, and you know, y'all made this happen. Y'all updated my rig, and now I'm getting to move my VTuber body to a new home, and it's really nice and cushy. The new rig, not my VTuber body. My VTuber body is probably about as flat as I am, so I'm like, it doesn't really vary that much. Built a ton of new rigs. Oh, very good. Yeah, the last time I actually built a rig myself, like from scratch, was like 2001 maybe. So like everything's changed like so much since then. Well, not everything, but like a lot of things have changed. I knows the hell of sharp the power connectors are. Yeah, I do. Oh god, that was actually so doing the like power supply, plugging in those connectors, I actually cut myself like a couple times off the edges of the little like sharp connectors. So the blood sacrifice has already happened with this computer. First thing she had to do was cut her nails. Oh, don't worry about it, they grow back. Like, no, like immediately, like the first thing I tried to do, like my nails were getting in the way. I'm like, nope, they're off, and I just snapped them all off. First thing, last build a rig from scratch, 2009 from spare parts. I gotcha. Yeah, no, it was really fun. It was good to put it together. It was definitely like, I know like by myself I wouldn't have been able to do it though. Like was definitely more complicated than expected, but like I think I understand most of it now at this point, so I feel pretty good about it. And the new computer, it is very, very nice. I got to do I got to route the wires and things like that, which was really cool. And oh, just one sec. Oh, pardon me. Is it VR ready? It is VR ready. Yeah. Except for the GPU, obviously. I mean that'll arrive this week sometime. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, no, it came together really good. It was really fun. The hardest part of the whole build, like I said, the hardest part was really just screwing things in, maybe putting the power supply in, or putting the cables in to the power supply in the boards, just because the connectors are really sharp. Just one sec. There we go. Sorry. Get some extra dry. Never once I assemble a PC without ending up with sore fingers. Yeah. Also, yeah, no, it will be VR ready. So I'm probably gonna start exploring into VR chat once I get things all settled and stuff like that. And we're gonna hopefully explore some cool new ideas that I can do for the stream. So, because right now I've had to kind of stick to, maybe more tame things, just because it's like, you can only do so much. And like my previous computer, like the one I'm currently on, can handle like a little bit of VR stuff, but it's like Beat Saber is about the extent of it. Anything more and it starts to get pretty chuggy. So, pardon me. Oh, Bridget, thank you for the sub. 2 months. Hey, thank you. Almost ready to stream VR chat. We were saying goodnight and she was like, oh my god, Chrome is so fast. Yes. Yeah, no, the thing is like the new computer, like it snaps on. It's just like immediately just there. So it's really nice. Does it run Neopets? Yeah, on this graphics card, it can run Neopets. So I'm really eager to make the full switch over to it. I get a lot of my things moved over, but not everything. Oh, hi, thank you for the sub. Enjoy your sub, Kumi. Also Bridget, thank you again. How y'all doing? But so I guess like I was saying, the big thing that was like really like tough with this computer was honestly the screws. I've realized this is like the first moment kind of realizing it's like, oh, I've lost like quite a bit of hand strength on HRT. I lost quite a bit of hand strength. I mean, I didn't have a lot to begin with, obviously, because I'm a baby, but I've lost quite a bit of hand strength. So it's like, oh, this actually took a while. Like actually mounting the motherboard to the case, that took a while to get those screws in. I mean, to be fair, the screws were coated, so they're always kind of rough to like put in the first time. I'm frequently reminded that I lost upper body strength on HRT. And the thing is, one of the big things with like HRT is you'll lose your ability to torque, which is like basically your ability to like twist things effectively, which is fine, but that's where I guess like the joke about trans girls and Spyro and pickle jars comes in. But anyways, so I did have a little bit of a mounting the motherboard to the case took a little while, but it wasn't hard. It just took a while. Hey Evie, hey Starry. So and then losing torque power, gain torque power. Yeah, torquing of power. Yes, that's what I've acquired. I've acquired torquing power. Thank you. Oh, Anna, thank you for the sub. Oh, you didn't have to do that. You've already like done so much. Walked in on pickles. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm so pumped. I'm just super pleased about it. Yeah. Here's one of my partners. Sorry, is the one I have a crush on. Oh, gotcha. Oh, well, welcome. Aw. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Oh, okay, so the big thing on the build that took like the most like effort though was these fans, this cooling system here. You can see up here the fans are stuck to the top of the case. That was the hardest part of the whole thing, and it was hard for a very specific reason. Anyone who follows my Twitter feed already knows, probably has already heard the gist of what I had to say about that, which is that, oh, Zafra, thank you for the sub. Oh my goodness, y'all are so good. Oh, it's so good to me. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Zafra. Where is it here? I'm trying to find like a picture of it. Okay, I'm gonna show you the hardest part of the whole build, which was this nasty thing right here. There we go. So many things. Oh, thank you, White. This thing right here, this thing was monstrous. Oh, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these. Okay, so this thing, oh god, yeah, my current computer also has some stupid stuff with mounting the water cooling. Yeah, I've heard like originally one of my other friends that's in IT, like when I was talking to them about it, they were like, yeah, the machine looks really good, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know a damn thing about mounting one of these cooling units, one of the liquid cooled units. And I'm like, oh, and they're like, yeah, like good luck with that. So yeah, oh, you've already read it on Twitter, Charles. Gotcha. So the gist of it is yeah, if I could do, I'd have her get an EK one versus a Corsair. So here's the thing, the Corsair one, so you can kind of see like this fan is sitting on top of this white block. That white block is actually the radiator. The fan screws into the radiator. Makes sense, right? That's logical. So they give you these long ass screws. You can see how like long it is right through here because it threads through both kind of wings of the fan and then into the radiator. Now, apparently I learned a thing about screws, which is that you can have screws that are called tapped screws, which from what I understand, when you screw them, they make their own channel as you're screwing them at a certain point. And these screws go really smoothly through the fan, but they don't go smoothly into the radiator. I taught her about tapped wrenches, etc. Yes. Also, hey, Trooper, how you doing? Do you need all the screws? Can you just say fuck it and be missing one? I mean, these are fans, so like I think if they're at any point like even slightly wobbly, it's going to like probably be something audible. So I want to make sure that they're screwed in good. But I'm just gonna say it right now, these fans, these screws were fucking bitches. I think I worked at them for 3 hours and I was getting them all into about halfway. Like you can see like this screw over here is like kind of in deeper, but that's not even fully in. Yeah, it's gonna rattle like a ghost, exactly. Hey Trooper, I'm doing good. I'm talking about, I did a new PC build, so I'm talking a little bit about that. But this one I have circled here. This one was nasty. I worked at this one for hours. I have blisters on my hands today that actually from working at these screws so hard. And I spent 3 hours at it. And I could not like, I just could not get like any kind of like headway on it. Now the CPU installed, she handled that like a boss. Aw, thank you. Aw. Like everything else like was easy in comparison to these screws, and it felt so trivial because it's just like, oh, it's just screwing in a fan of all things. It's not even like sensitive or anything like that. It's just screwing in a fan, and I, for the life of me, could not get these screws in. And then Anna looked it up, and apparently like this particular like set of fans that I got, this is like 90% of the complaints about these fans is how fucking tight these screws are. Yeah. Oh god, yeah. When actually that was one thing that also happened when we were doing the CPU. I couldn't get the CPU to pop out of the plastic container it was in, so we had to cut it out. Like like, of course it's the CPU, so you're trying to be gentle with it, and it is just like, it was just like fighting me, like the pop out of the container. I'm like, I swear, if this pops and like falls out of my hands, I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die on the spot. Fortunately, we decided to cut it out instead of doing that. It's actually kind of funny because it initially popped out, like when I first did it, it popped out perfectly, and then it like, in like setting it down to like take a moment, I put it back in the case and it just immediately locked itself back in place. Yeah, new computer is super exciting. Any plans for your older PC? Are you gonna be a super cool streamer dual PC setup? I don't know yet. I don't know yet. Oh my goodness, the classic emote. Here we go. Oh yes. Show me the emote. My emotes are being weird right now. It's okay. You can be weird emotes. Aw, Starry. Aw, thank you for the sub. Aw. Much appreciated. I told her that the moment she has both computers up and working on a cold night, she absolutely run them at the same time. If your PC is powerful enough to dual PC setup is not really needed. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm looking at. I suspect I don't need a dual PC setup for this. Like ideally this computer that we built is going to be strong enough that it won't benefit that much from dual PC. So I'm not too worried about it. Shouldn't need a dual. Yeah, your GPU is dedicated hardware, GPU transcode video. Yeah. So it's like, yeah. She's gonna have NEA listing on a model. I am. It's gonna be exciting, probably. Yeah. Like, I don't know how much it's gonna like visually like be able to improve my model off of it, because there's only so much you can really do in Vroid. But but it's gonna give me access to like do more like intense things for the stream. Yeah, time to add ray tracing reflection to my eyes. Yes, ray trace my eyes. White, you ray trace my eyes. Okay. You figure out how we can do that. But anyways, oh yeah, the screws. Okay, so these screws, I worked at these for like 3 hours, and this is like at 6 in the morning, right? So like I went from like, I got to this stage at about 5 a.m. and by 8 a.m. I was just like, I'm like, these screws are not going in. Like I had a dozen of them, or well, I had like, there was 8 of them in total, and 5 of them were like very much not in far enough. And I was just like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I don't have the hand strength. I just cannot get them into this fan. Like, I'm like, is it actually like the fan? Is the fan fucked up? Is it just like, is it bad? Because something can't possibly be this hard. So finally I broke down, and I was like, I was basically telling my mom about it over breakfast, and she's like, okay, well, let me take a crack at it. And she was doing better than I was, but even for her, she was like, you know, it was like a lot. Like she was like really like struggling with it. I'm like, don't hurt yourself. Okay, let's step away from this, because I don't want her to like hurt herself trying to screw these things in either. So finally I waited for my stepdad to get home, and I'm like, hey, do you think you could help me with this? And yeah, so I took the card out, or I took the fans and radiator out, and we put it on the table, put it on the kitchen table, and I'm not even kidding. Yeah, he turned those screws like the thing was being screwed into a piece of butter, and I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I worked at this so hard. I was like turning these, and I'd get like the smallest crank, like just the smallest amount of like progress, and it would like, I'd be breaking a sweat. Yeah, I loosened it for him, definitely, absolutely. And he just turned these like it was fucking made of butter, and I was like, oh, thank God. Like at least the screws are in. But it was that moment that I was like, I gotta realize that it's like I've lost a lot of strength on HRT. Like I said, I didn't have a lot before, but now I have even less. So it's like, this right here would probably be the problem going forward if I was ever to do like anything else related to computers. Is like any kind of screwing like that, and tap screws are probably no good for me. Computer people are all skinny nerds. Why do they make stuff that only Hercules can assemble? I know, right? I was just like, damn. Like, I was like, what the hell? uh like I guess I don't know. I guess I'm not supposed to use like a auto screwdriver or whatever on something like that, but I'd be really tempted to invest in an auto screwdriver for that. Now you're gonna need that hand squeezer to make your hand stronger. Yeah, I mean they're sitting on my desk right now, but I'm just like, I get busy and I just don't think to do it. It's like, yes, use the hand thing, it will make your hand strong, and I'm just like, could be. So, but anyways, the build ended up after that, it was smooth. Just had to mount the card to the top of the case, which was also like a 2-person job. Like, I'm like, this is impossible to do as a singular individual person. Like, so but like that just took mom holding it in place, and then I screwed the screws in, so it was like fine. The rest of the screws on the fan unit were not hard. Actually, that's not the fan unit there. That fan, this is the front of the case. Those are the fans of the front of the case. The fan unit's actually not visible in this picture. But yeah, the card, everything else was fine. Nothing else was like a problem. So, and like the rest of the coolant, like the rest of the liquid cooled unit went in like super smooth. So there was like no issues as far as that goes. But and the thing is running good. So this morning I started doing transferring everything over and getting everything set up. And unfortunately, go figure, it would work out this way. My backup drive that I've used for like 10 years decided to die. So the transfer of files is actually slowed, was a little bit, it's slow. I didn't get as much transferred over. Rest of the fucking six took me forever. So basically I've been trying to transfer like just, it feels like trying to like scoop the ocean into a fucking bucket and transfer it into like a pond. Like, it's just like, this is taking forever because I had to switch over to like something that only has like, well, it's only 16 gigabytes. So it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have her go back. Yeah, and that makes sense. Yeah, we'll turn on like file sharing and stuff, and we'll just copy things over. That makes sense. I'm not entirely sure how to do that because like I've never had to like network PCs together, because there's never been a reason for me to do that. So but at least the stuff I did transfer over, hey Winter, how you doing? The stuff I did transfer over, most of it seems like it's working pretty good, and I'm like pathing my file names so that, like, this is gonna sound really dumb because I don't think this is like the correct way to do it, but I literally just took OBS, like copied all the folders and everything, copied all the folders and everything, and I just like put it on a stick and I just carried it over to the new computer, and it popped it right into the same place, like same exact same place it is on the new PC as it was on my old PC. And you know what? It's working. I'm like, perfect. Oddly enough, it's weird too, because it actually kept all the like modifications I installed on OBS. But it seems like it's having a weird, there's something weird I have to fix there where it doesn't seem to, some things aren't showing up right. So I don't know, but that'll be something I can fix over the next few days. That won't be too much of an issue. But so that's been the last like 3 days. We start Thursday. I ended up taking Friday off because honestly, I was so tired after fighting with the liquid cooled unit, assembling it, and then Saturday I also took off because it's scheduled. So, but computer's almost done, and of course we're just waiting for the graphics card because, believe it or not, my GT 630 is probably, like, everything else in the computer is super good, but I don't think this thing here is gonna cut it. I don't think it's gonna cut it for anything I want to do. I can play Vampire Survivors on it. That's about it. Yeah. If the directory is the same path, new one, shortcuts will work too on your desktop if you program. Yeah. And that's basically what I've been doing. And so, you know, fortunately that will make things super easy. It's actually really nice too, because it turns out the drives setup, the sequence they're in, is in the exact same sequence that my current PC is on, so it's like ideal. I'm looking forward to just like doing some stuff on it just to see how it all shakes out, how good it is, you know. But on that note, I think we'll just put this, I'm just gonna frame this picture here. We'll just put it right here on the side of the couch. It'll just be a frame picture of my new computer, which I'm hoping I'll get to move into probably Wednesday or Thursday. We'll maybe be doing a stream from the new computer. I forget who it was. I think it was Bedor. Was like I gotta catch some of the final. How did Bedor word it? Oh, was you gotta catch those last low res code streams? I'm like, low res? I'm not low res. Am I low res? Am I low res? Huh? Magic backing up and restoring Steam games and moving between drives. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, because of the thing, I just started downloading them again. It's like, oh, the cloud saves just kick right in, so it's like, why bother? Standard definition. I'm like, I guess I'm standard definition. That's fair. Ghidorah, how you doing? Wait, who is this? Bedor. No, not you, Ghidorah. You should be able to stream 1080p now. I don't know if Twitch actually would like output 1080p though. You know what I mean? Because like I think that's like a thing you need to be partnered for, isn't it? Down convert for everybody. Okay. Yeah. It should. Okay. Yeah, because I know at one point I think that it was like Twitch gets mad at you if you start streaming at too high a bit rate. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the thing is you can stream at 1080p, but does it actually like show up as 1080p for viewers? Or is it like downsized to 720? Because I was pretty sure it was downsized to 720. You can select for 480, 360, and 14p. So can you actually stream at 1080? Because if I can, I absolutely will. But you're 720 right now, 60 FPS. Yeah, but like if I actually have it set to 1080. You can stream at 1080. Okay, so I can stream at 1080 and it will show up for people as 1080. Okay, well, I guess I have a little bit more work to do. Yeah, I stream at 1080 before using my phone tethering. Okay, you can stream at 1080 as an affiliate. You just don't necessarily get transcoding because fuck Amazon. Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay. One time it did that was when I was on Streamlabs. Okay, so it might have been maybe a byproduct of Streamlabs like ages ago. Capped me at 690. Really? That's weird. You don't get transcoding priority. Yeah, and that sucks. I start to learn about that like a month or two ago, and it's just like, that's dumb. This is dumb. Which is weird given you're both trans and code. I know, right? I'm being denied. Yeah, I'm being denied as an individual. Actually, just one sec. I want to look for my sweaters. It's cold here. I want to find my hoodies. Gotta go. All right, Anna. I'll catch you later. All right. Thank you again for everything. Thank you. Like that. I never would have got it together without you. So, all right. I'm just gonna be a minute because I just need to find my hoodies because I'm cold. I think they're over here. I'm like, they're over this way. I'm pretty sure. Where are they? Oh, they're on my bed. Oh. All right, there we go. And when I switch to OBS Studio, I start streaming in 1080p. Okay, cool. I might have to do that then. Because, yeah, I don't think my current computer can handle 1080p. I've tried it at one point, and then at some point I got into my head that Twitch just won't give anyone but partners 1080p. So it's like, oh, okay, well, it made sense just to stick to 720 at that point. I am a little bit lazy tonight, so I don't know how much we'll get into everything that I have on the docket for tonight, just because I've been running it a little bit harder than usual the last few days. But I think we should probably get into some stuff. So let's see. We are gonna play a little bit of Enter the Gungeon. And there's probably a good chance this week coming up. Pardon me. This week coming up, I might be a little bit like, I might have a few more days off just because, pardon me. Like hiccups, I might end up taking a little bit more time off this week just because I'm going to be transferring files over and getting everything working on the new computer, of course. So, it's one of those things that's going to be a lot of work just in itself. So, oh my God. It's happening. It's happening. We're entering the gungeon.